Every time an anime ends, it tends to be forgotten, but not today. Today I'll be shedding light on Mob Psycho 100 Reigen. Our story starts out with this average-looking man looking at this ghost, but what type of ghost is it? We do not know. He tries and tries to ignore the ghost, but then the average-looking man notices that the ghost is seeming to get closer and it looks more visible. What once was a dot is now visibly a human face. The ghost is there the next day, and the next day, and the next. Our average Joe finds an exorcist to tell him about the situation, and the exorcist is no other than this fat guy. Our psychic friend here has performed a psychic examination, and definitely seeing signs of a spirit that has attached himself to our average Joe, and it's a female. Dun dun dun! If only a female could attach herself to me. Our average Joe was shocked that a spirit is attached to him, and he wonders why. Is it someone that he knows? Not necessarily, and we do not know its intentions. We don't even know if he knows who it is, but it has certainly attached itself to him, and now our average Joe is feeling even worse. We skip to the school, where Tomei is telling her friends how Reigen scammed, helped a man exorcise the ghost that was haunting his company. She tells her friends how the people of the company were pleasured and happy that Reigen helped them, and they ask her, "Can you see ghosts, Tomei?" And she replies, "Well, not yet, but I feel like I could hear him and sense them." According to the boss, it's all unexplained phenomenon. Tomei's friends start doubting her, wondering why she would even have a psychic job if she's not a psychic, and doubting the realism of her job, saying things like, "It's always I heard this from an acquaintance," or "This really happened to a friend of mine, but it can't be confirmed, right?" It's definitely interesting, but I can't help but feel doubtful. Tomei has an expression on her face that seems like she's doubting herself. And then the girls at school change the conversation. Tomei confides with them, telling them that she wasn't even going to share her stories because it would seem ridiculous to them. But then they change the subject again. Tomei's friends change the subject to hot guys, wondering if Tomei works with any hot guys. She says Serizawa lacks confidence and Reigen's kinda shady. The girls are thinking about starting a part-time job so they could meet people, when the teacher overhears them and says, "Students who want to work part-time need to file a permission form with the school. Isn't that right, Karata? I know you would never think of working a part-time job without informing the school, right? See me in the staff room after class." And the girls laugh, saying sorry. But the teacher happens to be no other than Average Joe! Average Joe wants Tomei to write out a job form, which includes her parents' signatures and what job she is working at. Tomei is embarrassed of the job that she is working at, and the teacher thinks it's some unholy job, which Tomei responds with, "No, it's not unseemingly, it's totally seemingly. I mean, I haven't noticed that it's not unseemingly." The teacher says, "What are you saying? Spit it out." The average Joe looks disappointed that Tomei is wrapping herself up with all this psychic stuff, but then surprisingly he says, "Me too. Karada, do you see that over there? In the corner of the room?" Karada is confused, and he points straight at the ghost that we're talking about earlier. Now it's even staring straight at us. And he's wearing a necklace that keeps him safe from the ghost. Alright, we're going back to normal. The fat guy explains to the teacher that he wants him to wear the necklace, and if he wears it for long enough, then the spirit should go away. So the teacher's been wearing the amulet ever since he got it. He looks at the head and it looks eerie. He says last night he finally noticed that it is someone that he knows. "It looks just like the face of my former teacher." Tomei responds with, "Your teacher? You mean Sensei? And the ghost face was Tomei's teacher's teacher, who was nice and gentle and always kind, and the reason why Tomei's teacher wanted to become a teacher. She was even gentle and kind to him whenever he was a bad kid. At first, he didn't want to believe that the face was his former teacher, until he searched her name up online and found out that she was dead." Tomei's in shock, saying, "I don't know what to say." The teacher asks Tomei for her advice. She responds with, I don't know what to tell you, but to be honest, I can't see a thing." Tomei can't see ghosts still. Tomei tells the teacher that it should be nothing to be afraid of, since it was his former teacher. She probably just wants to catch up on old times. The teacher takes off his amulet, saying it's no longer necessary. Then Tomei gets a great idea. "Let's see what Reigen has to say. If you're able to talk to your former teacher, it will prove that there's nothing shady about my part-time job." Then Tomei keeps persisting the teacher. "Well, what do you say? Let's go. Tomei's trying to get information about the teacher's teacher. Tomei screams in Reigen's face, "I want to see spirits too. What's this all of a sudden?" Tomei says, "I'm sick about hearing everything secondhand. I want to actually experience it. I want to feel it for myself, like you two." And then Serizawa's back again, saying, "Even if you could see spirits floating around, it's not all that interesting. It's like seeing a crow or a stray cat." I love Serizawa so much. "If you stop paying attention, you stop even noticing them." Look at Serizawa on his little tiny desk. Then Tomei responds with, "That's only true in your case, Serizawa. To you psychics, the strange and mysterious is just old news." Reigen's filling out Tomei's paper and says the high school's such a pain. Tomei explains to Reigen what the application is for, and Reigen responds with, "You weren't even hired here in the first place." Reigen also responds with job duties, spiritual consultation. Tomei asks Reigen if he could help her teacher, communicating with an acquaintance who's already passed. If they're famous enough to have a wiki page, I should be able to ad-lib it. Tomei says, "Ad-lib it? Let me try searching the name online. Reigen finds out that there was a death with the same name and age as the teacher, but it was a man. Reigen says, your teacher's teacher was a woman, right? Looks like she's retired from teaching and is living a happy life. Your teacher's teacher's still alive, and that means the spirit is someone else. Tomei starts freaking out because she told him to take the amulet off, but Reigen says he was prescribed that amulet, right? So it should be fine no matter who the spirit is. Tomei continues to freak out. Reigen's just confused. Alright, we'll take care of it tomorrow. But Tomei insists that they do it now, and then Tomei says she'll do it by herself if she has to. Reigen said, if that's your plan, then lend me your head for a second. Tomei's confused. Then Reigen transfers his powers to her. Tomei says, awesome, now I could do this sort of thing on my own. Reigen says, let me know if anything happens. Now we're getting a Tomei-only mission. It's gonna get hype. The teacher still thinks that the floating head is his teacher. He looks at the floating head. I know you haven't been able to approach me because of this amulet. Well, you don't need to worry about that anymore. Now that I know that it's your spirit following me. Sensei, please come here if there's anything you wish to say to me. He got closer, then the teacher realizes that it's someone else. Crap, my amulet. I can't breathe. The creepy, vulgar ghost gets super close, bloody. Together. I need to get out of here. Together. Let's die together. Then the teacher starts getting possessed. Tomei comes in all innocent. Sensei, the spirit isn't your teacher. It's somebody else entirely. You shouldn't throw away the amulet yet. Sensei, huh? Together. The teacher starts going to the rooftop. The possessed teacher grabs Tomei's neck and is walking towards the roof. Tomei freaks out. I'm in major trouble. Someone please. As the ghost continues to say together. Tomei grabs his hand super hard and a dimple appears on her face. Shut the hell up, you low-class spirit. Like hell, go anywhere with you. We get a dimple cameo, yeah! Boom! Dimple Tomei punches the teacher straight in his face. Piss off! The punch launches the evil spirit right out of the guy's body, and Dimple comes out of Tomei and eats it right up. Munch. Burp. Then he just leaves. Tomei says, did you see that, Sensei? I just saw something weird in green. Harada? Then the teacher starts thanking Harada. Tomei hands the teacher the signed agreement. Then the teacher excuses her from giving him the paper and says, just don't tell the other teachers. You don't have to give it to me. Dimple starts arguing with Reigen. What do you even mean by activate under extraordinary circumstances? You make me sound like some convenient item. If I hadn't been there, she would have been screwed. Yeah, well, that's why I decided to entrust her to my top familiar. The hell are you calling me a familiar? I'll kill you, you little shit. Dimple starts telling Reigen that he shouldn't just let people come in here and do whatever they want. Then he would just get more outside workers in here. Dimple also says that her level of curiosity is going to get her hurt in this job, and it's going to get in the way. And then Dimple says, so hurry up and fire her. And then Reigen responds with, I didn't really hire her in the first place. Then Reigen said, I went and filled out the agreement form, signing that might have been a big mistake. Then Tomei busts in. Oh, there you are, Reigen. Catch it. She comes in with the butterfly net from SpongeBob. Stay where you're at. Don't move. Then Dimple just like confused. Swoop. She hits him with the butterfly net. Ah, got away. He just goes right through it. Reigen says, what are you doing? Tomei says, I suddenly became able to see this entity. Tomei says that ghost killed an evil spirit. It's like a lactic acid bacterium devouring all the bad bacteria. Dimple says, who are you calling a lactic acid? If we catch and train it, it'll be like our own little police dog. Reigen responds with, that's not a bad idea, Dimple. Dimple's all like, yeah, no. Tomei continues to try to catch Dimple, and the chapter ends with Dimple yelling, hurry up and fire her. And this concludes another amazing chapter by one. I'm missing Mob though, and I want to see a Samazaki cameo, but I'm pretty sure there will be. I'm not sure though. Cliff notes, Tomei needs her own anime or manga, and Dimple is still a great character. I'm keeping that in. And to answer my man's question, yes. Yes, I am.